Alright, y'all, welcome back to another rendition of the Cozy Podcast. Here are my man Zaya, aka Steady Wave. Today, we got two special guests on the podcast, Tamirra and Mel. You feel me? Appreciate y'all for tuning in and joining in on the conversation today.
Absolutely.
So to start it off, let the people know a little bit about y'all, where y'all come from and, what y'all do.
Let me go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Well, we from Philly. We went to school to Bloomsburg University. We didn't finish though, but that's kind of where we built our friendship, our relationship, and now we are back in Philadelphia, just working, trying to better our family, and just build connections and everything.
Word. So how was it in Philly growing up and everything?
You go ahead and talk about
that. I feel like growing up in Philly it is dangerous, but you would like it if you lived there. It was fun things to do, or it was fun things to do. Now, staying in the house is very comfortable for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, growing up in Philly is fun. I've been living in Overbrook around, like here. It's like the Overbrook section.
Mm-hmm.
I've been living around here my whole life. I know most of the people around here. There's bad stuff that going around here. Good things. I guess it's good things. Like what?
Yeah.
Sports.
Yeah.
It's a lot of community things. Like we have community cleanups, but as far as like the young people.
Young people should stay far away from young people.
Yeah.
Far away.
Is that something that's been in the air, or is that something that you guys have just noticed more growing up, like being in you guys' 20s now?
So like we're early 20s, so like as the years is going, these kids get worse and worse out here. Like high school people, like when I was in high school in Philly, it was more like fights than it is today now. So majority of the fights now is not even fights, like they shooting each other and they rapping about it, everything.
What y'all think is the cause behind that?
It's a lot.
Personally, of course, poverty, people not making enough money.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you see a hustler, like you see on the TV, everybody love, like Wallow said the other day, everybody love a gangster on TV, music, and they put an image,
media.
Yeah, and they put an image out there for black people to say, oh, and it's like a shining gold. It's like a pot of gold. You look at a nigga with some Dior or some Gucci and shit like that.
And no matter how you get it, as long as you got it, deflects it. Now social media is so big now, and it's like people's whole personas are really built on like their social media accounts, and like a lot of people make moves based on them sharing it with people on social media and like impressing people, having the people that they don't know, just to make themselves seem like they're something that they're really not. Like a lot of times you'll see like people will post stuff on social media, but then if you know them in real life, you're like, you're not even like that.
Yeah. And I believe like it's people that get tricked too, because it's like things happen and then where you gotta know who you are basically as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So people will put you in position. So I say a kid, okay? A kid something might happen where a kid will die. A kid will get shot. And then, so think about the kid's homies. This kid might be 15, 16. Now his homies, the 15-year-old dies. Now his little 15-year-old homies, they hearing niggas rapping about the nigga in the song, talking shit. So it's like, as that young kid, now everybody calling you looking like a bitch. You might feel like a bitch, but you're 15 years old. So it's like, and we make young kids make grown people decisions like too early. So it's like, who is this? Like, is anybody to tell me I'm a bitch because I don't want to throw my life away, or if I don't want to do that?
Is that something that you just seem to run into more? You feel like in our area, the tri-state area?
I mean, it probably, if since I look at social media, it's everywhere. I mean, because like even when they were saying like I'll say no snitching, me personally, I wouldn't tell nobody if I'm a part of it. It's like, but everybody can't speak on stuff they've never been in. Everybody will say they'll never snitch, but they never been in that situation, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody would say what they wouldn't do until they in that situation. Until it's like a motherfucker offering you your whole life to spend behind bars.
It's like the difference now is like back then, like a lot of like the amount of kids and women that's like dying now, it wasn't like that back in the day. Like how my mom, she always said like women and kids used to be off limits, but it's like now girls getting shot up, babies, like, and it's getting to a point where it shouldn't be seen as snitching. It's more so like now innocent people are dying, like babies and like kids and like women, and it's not that you should snitch, but at the end of the day, if you know who did it, you ain't even gotta snitch. But I feel like you should take matters into your own hands and, you know, get to the bottom of it, because number one, relying on the cops out here to do their job and like the system is always going to be a flaw. And if you really want justice for stuff like that, a lot of times you gotta do what you have to do to protect your family and get that justice, because like it happens so often. Like a killing to cops nowadays is just like, hey, it happened.
I mean, to anybody, for real.
The next one. That's what they do out here. It's not something that's like, oh my gosh, like we have to solve this case like how it is on TV. It's nothing like how it is on TV. Like we gotta solve this case. We gotta find out who this is. Like cops spending their whole entire time trying to figure out who shot the girl that was sitting in the car. They're not doing that. They're not doing that.
And I think, personally, I do think like the government put things out there so it would make it easier to kill each other. Like even if you look back from the past 5 or 6 years, you know, people guns are different. Like you put a switch on your gun and then it will shoot like a machine gun.
Yeah.
And like little niggas had these, like 16-year-olds around here had these guns. And so if they shooting up a car, it's like they shooting a machine gun. Like kids from other cars, bullets gonna ricochet. It's 100. If it's a drum, it's going 50 shots is coming out in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And people don't know like back in the beginning of the pandemic, like 2020. A lot of people didn't notice, but it came out. Remember with the shooting at Roxborough High, so it was like a shooting near Roxborough High, like the football team, a month or two ago. It just came out that the kids who had those guns got them from a sheriff that was he was like a sheriff pretending to be like a gangster, or he was an informant. Technically he got the guns from like the sheriff department. But in the beginning of 2020, over 500 guns had went missing from the sheriff department, and like they didn't know, like they were acting like they didn't know where the guns went, what happened. The guns just disappeared. But they don't know that a lot of times, like just the crooked cops and the sheriff stuff out here, like they give it to their kids. They selling it to the kids and like, yeah, take this gun. Like even when they was out here protesting, it was videos like going viral on Twitter about what was it? When they were protesting downtown and everything, and these white people were in the car and they were literally like handing bricks and stones out to little kids. You remember that? Exactly. Handing the bricks and stones out to little kids, like, yeah, take this. And one black woman spoke up. She saw it. She was like, why are y'all in our neighborhoods trying to get our kids to do stuff like this? Like, who sent y'all? Why are y'all here? And it's like, a lot of times people don't know that it's a psyop. Like they're literally doing these things on purpose to more so take like children, like young people that could be easily manipulated, like off their path. And like, I don't think a lot of people notice that. They just blame it on, you know, the bad parenting, which does play a role in that as well, bad parenting. But a lot of times, like, these kids are being picked up like by people on the street. That's low-key performance or?
Y'all feel like there's a lot of those in y'all area?
I don't think it's a lot,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's monkey see, monkey do. If one young boy know where to get a gun from, he gonna tell the other young boy that everybody gonna have guns.
Yeah, everybody gonna have one. But they don't know where they getting guns from.
Yeah.
Like they uncle might give it to him or
Right.
anybody.
And who know who the uncle getting a gun from?
So how do y'all feel about the overall system that kind of contributes to the cause of everything?
I think it's terrible. Honestly, I think it comes with the music. Like they play more and more violent music as the years come on, as the years go. Cause like we went from Big Sean to like fucking to Chief Keef to now everybody just smoking on niggas.
Right, and this whole
Yeah.
eco thing now with all these.
But it's
rappers
like
and stuff like.
mainly like to be a rapper now you have to live the image. So these people and now I'm saying these newer rappers are really somewhat living it, and that's why you're seeing these niggas dying. Cause if you
They speaking their life into path into existence. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So as far as music is concerned and just influence overall, like what type of art and media do you guys try to tune into to kind of keep you guys level-headed?
this is the funny thing, man.
He loves that.
That's just my shit. I listen
That's
to
all
it.
he
Bro.
listen to is rap
I mean,
music.
all I listen to is rap music, honestly. But I mean, cause that's what I grew up on. Like, I grew up around here. Everybody I know listen to rap music. I've been listening to rap music since I was young, since my dad was playing rap music for me. And
So I'm sure that you probably have peers that probably went in different directions in life. So how did you kind of keep, your head strong,
honestly,
have a steady path with everything, despite being, surrounded by
my parents. My dad's a cop. My mom is a nurse. I wouldn't say I grew up in a strict house because I was able to make decisions, but I always knew like at the end of the day, my decision I'm gonna have to come home or I'm gonna know I'm gonna have to talk to these motherfuckers and I'm gonna get in trouble, like basically. So then I went to college, and then by the time I left college, I'm a grown man. Like nobody can't tell me what I want to do or what I don't want to do. It ain't no peer pressure for me because I can tell a nigga no. So and like my whole life, it wasn't like I was never a person that I would say shied away from conflict, but it wasn't like I was looking for conflict, as I was saying.
I know what you're saying.
So what's going on in Philly for real? Like, what about Philly make it what it is? Cause I was doing some research on America like a month ago or whatever, and I found out that Philly is like an ancient city, like it's older than what people really think it is. So like, you think that has something to do with what's like going on over there? Cause all of the areas that I be thinking about, they got like a lot of crime or whatever. It's always like sacred area, like Los Angeles, Missouri, over there in Missouri, Chicago, Philadelphia.
I mean, yeah, I would think it'd be sacred, but white people don't be killing each other though, like that in Philadelphia. Like I don't see it like look on the news and see if I see a white person die, it's because of white nigga killed him.
Cause they don't put. All right, so technically it's like this. People think it's black and black crime. People been killing each other since the beginning of time. Like that's just what they've been doing. The only reason why it seems like it's more black people is because that's all that they put on the news. Like that's all that they showcase for us. But like people die every day. Niggas die every day. But what it is it's deeper than just black people killing black people. A lot of times, like how they they tell us like we all come from Africa and everything, but people don't know their bloodlines. People don't know their family. People don't know, the kind of things like way generations back that their family ancestors went through. So when you really think about it, if you from Philly and you have family that you can date back, that you can't date back to like Africa or anything, it's just they all lived in America. You don't know, the kind of conflicts that they had. So therefore, when you look at it now in present day, it's more so like you have all of these different people in the tri-state area, compact like rats and roaches. We all living on top of each other. just because we all share the same skin color don't mean that we're all the same. So it's like you come in conflict with people who may look like you, but overall they're nothing like you. And that's when, you know, it comes to a point where you got niggas who are shooting each other over blocks, areas where, you know, they feel as though this is like their land, like this is where they're from, this is where they grew up. And when you compare that to how it was back in the day, like, or like not even back in the day, like way back when people like used to fight over different tribes, over different lands, like, you know, different people had their own territory, and then from outsiders that come into their territory, of course they're going to fight for their land, they're going to, you know, do all that kind of stuff. So if you try to look at it through modern day eyes, it's kind of the same. It's just everything has changed, so it's different. But like they always say, history always repeats itself. But because we have like more technology, is way more advanced, the media that's being controlled by other people, they're trying to change the narrative, like black people haven't been doing this all the time and that white people are so peaceful and they stick together. But it's really not like that. Like, it's the complete opposite.
I don't think it's the complete opposite. White people stick together way more than black people.
You think?
That's something I know. Just living my experience. I literally experienced going to Bloomsburg with a lot of white people. If you look at, just look at friend groups. Black friend groups would be, all right, 4 niggas here, 4 niggas there, 5 niggas. You have like 4 different black friend groups. You'll see a white person house with so many people together drinking beer, cheering on niggas. And then black people might be like, oh, I don't want to hang with these niggas, but I'm just trying to hang with my homies.
I mean, yeah.
I'm like, you don't have to worry about that with a black community. I don't know when the black community got to a point at that, but that's what niggas be on.
I mean,
and that's like,
I feel like it kind of goes back to what you were saying about all black people not being the same,
like
not being on the same frequency.
Yeah.
And plus, like, I don't know if it be the tribal instincts in people that kick in to be like, all right, I'm only gonna stick to this amount of people and not mess with nobody else. But I feel like it's a lot of layers to that. That kind of like, yeah, like you said, white people may from a certain lens, you know, stick together more, but those black people that do stick together within their small groups stick together probably tighter than the white people that have the big group.
I agree with that, because maybe if a fight would break out, the 4 people would help you.
That's
white people
like, like they'll stick together. But like, I don't know, I feel like what white people is really different. And then like even now, like all white people aren't the same. Just because white people are white, like they have white skin, doesn't make them an average white person that eats mac and cheese.
You're right.
Like you got like Irish white people who, Italians down South Philly, they stick together, but it's like it's different because they're Italians, and Italians are different from just like white Americans that don't have no
like
culture for us.
Exactly. Hispanic people in general.
Exactly.
I mean, you see that like even watching like shit like the World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, like they love each other. Like
they do. Other countries, they do. But it's different in other countries. Cultures are more stronger in other countries because they keep up with a lot of ancient traditions, whereas here in America it's so diverse. Like it's so many people here, and people pick up on other cultures that's like not theirs, and then they start doing things that, you know, they wouldn't really be doing if they weren't introduced to it. So it's like, you know, you got some people out here where it seems like they stick together, but you don't really know like behind the scenes, like how they were raised and like their actual culture. Like, a lot of black people in Philly kind of are raised the same, but it's not where they actually come from. Like me, like I have a lot of family that's from down south. Like my grandmother on my grandfather on my mom's father, his mother, she was like 100% Cherokee Indian. But like the kids after that, like who was raised here in Philadelphia, like you wouldn't think that we have like roots from down south just because of like how we picked up on like northern culture. So it's like you would think that we like that's just my bloodline, like that's just how we were raised. But it's not. Like if we go back to our cousins who live like down Florida, Peleca, Florida to be exact, like they're the complete opposite of us. And it takes getting to know like your family as a whole to know who you really are. Yeah. So when it comes to like white people, a lot of times white people like they can date their history back, like they can do that, and they know like who they are. But with black people it's different. So you got black people out here that really don't know themselves for real. They think they know themselves, but they don't, just because they're basing it off of their life here and now in modern day, and it kind of confuses them. It's like that dilemma that a lot of people don't acknowledge.
I feel like America know that though, but like that's why they'll date back.
I don't think not a lot of Americans don't know that.
No, I'm talking about like the government though.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's why we keep our last names. We're gonna keep them forever.
Like I have a Jewish last name, and like my family isn't Jewish.
Yeah, I understand that.
Like my grandma swears we're Jewish.
That's like us having Irish last names.
Yeah, like.
But how do you guys like? When you said that all black people aren't the same, like, is that something like you studied and found out, or like when you go outside you could tell when somebody is not
just from watching people, watching their their everyday habits, like you got some households where your grandma, like how your grandma, your great grandma keep up with those traditions, like leaving your shoes at the door, or not having your bed facing the mirror, or never putting your purse on the floor, stuff like that. Not every black family follows those kind of traditions, and that's like we think it's just little parts, like just little superstitions that some people have and don't, but like that's actually some people's culture. Like they don't do stuff like that, but when you think about it, not every black household is like that. So like that definitely separates like different people from each other, where they might look the same, but it's like the total opposite. And even like white people, like I'm pretty sure Irish people have a different culture than Italians. Italians have a different culture than white Americans. White Americans have a different culture than like Spaniards, like Spaniards. And when it really comes down to it, just because like black people like to group all white people together, but then they will get mad if like white people group all black people together. But the thing is, it's literally the same. Like not all white people are the same, and not all black people are the same. Like Africans don't consider themselves as black. You go down Southwest, where all the Africans live at, they do not like black people. They don't like black Americans.
I don't know. Southwest, some of them do. Like the young people.
I mean, of course, the young people do, because that's where
like their parents don't. Like
that's what they were like raised around.
The older ones are still have like a mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I met a lot of African. I got a lot of African friends from school, and like they was cool. Like I had African niggas live with me. They was my homies, like right hand. But like I won't have nothing. I feel like we're the same. I feel like I speak to them on the same level.
I feel like it's just niggas are everywhere. Like you find niggas everywhere, and it's just niggas are everywhere. Niggas in America are gonna be different from like niggas in Australia or somewhere else. So it is like
it's like we the same skin color, but culture different.
Culture's definitely different. But like I'm saying, I feel like me and them, I can look at them on the same, like we're the same level of person, bro. Like if I needed some help, they'll help me.
Yeah, I think that's more so your relationship though.
You think so? But no, before I even had like, I'll say like for some of them, like for Cliff, like before I even was talking to Cliff like that, I remember like how we became cool, because I was only cool with Duke. Like my car had broke down and I just needed a nigga to ride to the store with me. Like, so like I didn't want to just be broke down by myself. It was on his last leg. I'm trying to get the autos on. He ride with me.
I feel like it's a character.
Yeah, maybe.
I was cool with white people too. Like I had white people who would do stuff for me, like cool. Like we was cool, but I don't think it really had anything to do with me relating to them. It was more so like you're a cool person, like you're a nice person,
a matter
a genuine
of
person.
just being in that environment during that convenient time, you know.
Yeah.
Some people just, you know, befriend people out of convenience and not necessarily because they actually like.
Yeah.
Especially in college,
Yeah.
you get by however you get by, whoever you can get to help you out, you would do it. Which is why a lot of times you leave school and you don't talk to those people anymore. A lot of people I was into school with who was so-called my friends, I don't talk to them no more.
Yeah, you gotta really make sure you're around a solid group.
So what is Bloomsburg? It's another city or town?
Town.
PA?
Yeah, it's a town up in PA. But honestly, it's not. I mean, you would probably because like me, like I'm kind of like a mountain girl, like kind of like niche girl. Like I like being out in rural areas and stuff like that, and that's how Bloomsburg is. But like when you're on the college, you see the college as you see school as like this is college and not as this is a whole different environment like outside of college. Like there's other stuff to do. So when the pandemic hit and like classes was on pause and stuff like that, I took it upon myself to like explore Bloomsburg outside of Bloomsburg University. So that's when I started like going out and like seeing the different kind of sceneries that they had out there, like the different land areas, the water out there, foraging. Like I did a lot of stuff like that, like by myself. I did a lot of stuff like that by myself out there. And when you actually see stuff from a different perspective that say like Bloomsburg University will give. It's like, oh wow, like,
Me,
it's really not.
can you hold it real quick?
Of course, like you go up there.
Can you hold it while we on
and
the
you're
show?
looking for it to be like how it is back here in Philadelphia, like you know, corner store here, power store there, like you know, niggas chilling on this block. Like it's not gonna be like that because that's not the area that it is. But if you're willing to like open your mind to, you know, enjoy stuff other than like the urban area, then I would say like a place like that is really good for you to get away and like really try to find yourself. And well, not even find yourself, but just like get back to like who you was, you know, as a kid, not worried about. It's small, but it's like it's a lot of small towns like around it. So you got like Bloomsburg, then you have what's that next town over that you were Berwick, and then you have like Susquehanna, which these is where like the tribes are. Like if you go up there, you see like where all the tribes were at, and then you have like the town, like they call it the Burning City. What's it called? They made a movie about it. Centralia. Centralia. You have that out there, and like when you go to these places, it's just like the energy, like the atmosphere is just completely different. Like it's totally different. Something like if you've never really been out of Philadelphia before, it's just like it's kind of I'm not gonna say like life changing, but it's like oh my gosh, like you got people out here, like white people out here who like live like this, and it's like with the media, we're portrayed to look at the people who live out here as like Trump supporters, like rednecks. But when you're actually out there, them people do not be worried about you.
No, they are.
They don't be worried about you.
They're racist up there.
I
wouldn't feel like.
But it's not like how to. Never once has anybody up there threatened me. Never once have I felt threatened. Never once I felt like I'm like, oh my god, like this is gonna be a get out. Like I feel like I'm gonna be kidnapped. Like KKK. I've never felt like that. Like how the media would make it seem like that's how it is in places like that. But of course they're racist. But at the end of the day, do I care?
Yeah, it's like I hated it
I could be out in the sun
to a degree, because like every time I'm driving somewhere, I'm getting pulled over.
Yeah.
When I get pulled over,
that never happened.
They having me get out the car for any aspect, any reason.
So you getting pulled over a lot.
Bloomsburg, yeah. I'm just saying, like in Philadelphia, I'd never get pulled over. Bloomsburg, they would literally pull you over. Like, so I lived in like about 5 minutes from the school. It was a little drive. It was probably like the furthest apartments from the school. Anybody that lived down there, if you was black, they was going to pull you over for no reason. Just even to see who you are, to talk to you, to say like, why are you around her?
How far is it from here? Like an hour or something?
No, 2.5.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Far, like near the Poconos.
Yeah.
Oh,
way up there.
Y'all been to Poconos before?
Yeah.
To Poconos. Poconos cool. Up there, it's kind of cool. Like it's the mountains. Like it's different.
Yeah, but I'll say PA and Philadelphia is like it's just two different places.
Philadelphia is really like its own state. compared to the rest of Pennsylvania.
So it's like Baltimore and Maryland.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
Exactly.
Everybody from Maryland hate Baltimore. Be like, yeah, like I got a cousin from PG County.
This where y'all plan on settling down, or y'all plan on seeing more of the world before you make that decision? Like, it's really where y'all want to, continue to stay.
Right now, yeah, I'll say, because I love my family.
Mm-hmm.
I love my grandparents. I love my parents. If it gets to a point where we would have to go, yeah, I would be down with moving from Philly. But as of right now, I'm looking at Philly for the next couple of years at least.
I mean, me personally, I don't care to stay in Philly. Philly has nothing for me. Unless I was giving back to my community.
But it's like,
I would do that.
People say that, but it's like, does boredom ever come into play for you? Say if all your family's in one spot? Because I would say I know about.
I mean, boredom is what you make it. So it's like
all of my family is in Philadelphia. Like even my family that was from out of town, like my cousin that stayed on the 3rd floor. Him and his brother and his mom lived in Atlanta like my whole life. My first cousin. And then they moved here. And then it's like, that's the only family I ever had from out of state. Here.
I got family all over. Like, I got family. See, like, I come from a family where people aren't afraid to, like, branch out and, like, create their own. Mm-hmm. Like, families, like, in a different environment. Like, my dad, he's one of 4 siblings. They are all spread out. Like, my dad is the only one here in PA. My aunt, his only sister, is out in Atlanta. His brother, his other brother is out in Atlanta as well. And then his other brother, one is in Nevada and then one is in California. So it's like my family, I have family all over. I got cousins in Texas. I literally have cousins in a lot of states. So me personally, I wouldn't be afraid to like kind of branch out and, move because I know that I do have family in other places that, if it really came down to it and I needed family, I can go to them. But at the same time, it's like Philadelphia is like, as far as like my future, like my development, like I feel like I can't really grow to where, I would not place limitations on myself. I feel like Philadelphia, it places limits on you. Mm-hmm. You can only do but so much, which is why a lot of times people leave Philadelphia, at least, they take that risk and they just go. And a lot of times they wind up building things for themselves. And then they may come back to Philly and be like, yeah, like I'm going to use, what I found is my strong suit to give back to my community and like help my community. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I could see myself doing that. Like, and it doesn't even have to be like directly like in Philadelphia. It can be like little counties like outside of Philadelphia. As far as living in the city though, the way that the stuff is going, like, I don't feel like it's the best place, especially now that we have a daughter. I don't feel like this is the best place for her to be raised in. And honestly, the school system sucks. Every school in Philadelphia is horrible. Whether or not it's a charter school or private school, it's horrible. Like, they don't teach our children anything. Like, they come out of school not knowing anything. And then on top of that, like, a lot of times you have to catch SEPTA to get to that school. SEPTA is like, it's getting bad now. Like, they shoot. So that's
just
our
our
public
transit.
transportation. Yeah. And it's like, it's bad. Like, they having shootouts on the train now. Shootouts on bus. They have just had a shootout yesterday. A bus was caught in a crossfire. Like, it's like, what? You stay here. It's like, I mean.
Yeah, I'll take. I mean, I would move to a county that's outside, but like.
So what county is this?
This is Philadelphia. This is the city.
Yeah, like this is the city, the county. Philadelphia is literally like its own. Philadelphia is the county. Yeah. Philadelphia is the city.
So, but if you go like, say if you go, if you go 10 blocks straight up this way, you're gonna be in Ardmore though.
Yeah.
And that'll be all white people and all nice and.
Yeah, Ardmore is kind of like more bougie.
Is this North Philly?
No, this West.
This West?
Yeah, North is way more churches.
Yeah, I went.
That's all the white people there.
I went over there. That shit was looking crazy.
Yeah, North Philly don't have no trees.
Yeah, that shit. The sidewalk, the street was on the sidewalk.
Small blocks. South Philly got small blocks too.
I stay away from places like that.
So what is it? It's only north, south, and
north,
west?
south, southwest, northeast.
So how come on the freeway, whatever that shit says, Central Philadelphia. What's that?
That's supposed to be
That's
downtown.
Center City, downtown.
Oh,
That's where City
okay.
Hall is. That's where all like.
That's where Kelly Drive and all that shit.
Yeah, like
Kinda, yeah.
It's all
I
around
went
the
over
same
there. That
place,
shit was
yeah.
alright.
Kelly Drive is cool.
Anything around there is you good around there.
Yeah.
There's
That's
like,
where-
start going into cities and different blocks. So it was like I would say about every 6 or 10 blocks, there should be a block, 2 blocks you stay away from.
Yeah.
Oh, like in Philly in general.
Yeah.
Like every.
So like even around here, like I wouldn't go. If I'm y'all, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
like
go
this
down.
Up here is
60
Lansdowne.
So this is 64th Street.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to 66 in Lansdowne or 66 in Media.
Or 54th and Lansdowne.
Oh, so
Like
it's
that.
hot.
That way.
Or I wouldn't go down to 64th and Colo Hill or 64th and Vine. That's 2 blocks down the
See,
street.
I don't even like go to
No,
the
I would.
store over
If
there.
I would go
Like,
down there,
yeah,
cause
but
like, cause I
that's-
grew up around here, so they wouldn't know like I'm not
Yeah.
into
It's
nothing.
one of those, it's one of those areas and shit where it's like a nigga don't know you.
Yeah, bro.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
but like I wouldn't. But like even myself, I wouldn't go to like 54th and Lansdowne to get shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to,
I mean,
I've been trying
like,
to figure
Philly,
out for a
though.
little minute what's up with it.
It is cool. Like,
Yeah.
Of course, I love my city.
But
And it's like Philly the way it used to be. Like when we was growing up, like Philly was so fun. Like I mean,
say you shit.
I don't know. I can't speak for you, but I know for me, it was fun. Like we had dollar parties. Kids can't have dollar
I
parties
be
these days
seeing
no
that
more.
on the,
Oh, kids be having
social
parties?
media now.
I'm talking about the parties that like how we used to have it.
I mean, they be
Like my first,
they do it
my
their
first
own type
dollar
of
party I
way.
actually went to it. They started shooting. They got
It's a
shot
dollar
up.
party.
It was like you pay a
They
dollar.
like you
to
only
get
pay a
in.
dollar to get in. Like
What?
yeah,
I
like
had
you know,
that in
and they be
Jersey.
tanking it. You know,
That's what Craig did.
dance
Yeah.
music stuff like that.
Kids used to get jumped at that shit like that. It was like
I mean,
and then
like,
it turned
kids
into
used
fights.
to get jumped,
Rumble.
but now it's like
As a girl, it was easy, always easier. I mean,
Yeah.
as a nigga's been the same shit my whole life.
Y'all think the stuff that's going on with the music scene in Philly is I think the music scene that's going on with Philly, New York, and Jersey is all connected right now. I
Yeah,
think all of
drill.
it's connected, especially because there's an artist right now in Jersey that's popping,
Mm-hmm.
and like the area that they at, like it's actually somebody we went to high school with. He involved with it all too because like he's I guess you could say
He a DJ.
he a DJ, and then like he be making like little comedy skits on Instagram too.
Mhm.
So he cool with all the other like young rappers that's in
From Philly?
right now. And one of those little Uzi Vert songs that just came out, the producer is from South Newark, and they all from South Newark, so they all cool together. And they got a couple of those South Newark artists are linking up with those Bronx artists in New York too. And then some of the South Newark artists are linking up with some of these Philly
The
artists
artists.
too. And then in Jersey and South Newark, they building a Lionsgate movie theater over there. So I was just trying to put everything together, and I'm like, something gotta be going on. Like they gotta have all these niggas connected somehow,
Yeah.
some way.
Yeah, man.
I
even
definitely.
now, like in Chicago, like Chicago's starting to reach over here. Like people in Chicago starting to have connections with people in Philly. Like,
I mean, it's just niggas just doing nigga shit. I mean,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
like all them, you talking about when all them PNB niggas went down to O-Block and shit.
I mean, I was talking about that, but that's a good example. But
Yeah.
then, like, it's, I don't know. I feel like it's deeper than what like, a lot of people see it as. Like, sometimes stuff really be like what it is, like face front, but a lot of times it's like it's always a motive behind it,
Yeah.
especially if it's broadcasted like everywhere.
Yeah, like
Real big.
how y'all feel about Kanye?
I think all that shit fake.
You saying it's fake?
Yeah, I think it's all just not fake. I don't want to say
Yeah.
fake. I think he's just being told
I think he doing
to do all
it. You
that.
think he being told to do it? I think he doing it on
Kinda.
purpose.
He's under MK Ultra, so it's like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, they can control when he spazzes out, when he chilling.
What you mean,
when he
MK
get back with
Ultra?
him.
But I think they want to
Like-
see. I think they letting him say it because they're letting him say all of that. But I think they doing it to see like where our minds is at.
Where
so
black
when they
people
go
is
in
at,
these
like,
comments on Instagram, they to see where the majority of black people at, and the majority of niggas is not. You know what I'm saying? Not where they.
Yeah.
Not where they care we at. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
already know that only a certain amount of us really seeing what's going on.
Right, it's understanding.
He went on that shit and basically said like they sacrificing our people. So
Yeah.
Cosby's son, my mom,
Yeah. And he was talking about how everybody's in cahoots, like how Kardashians in cahoots with the Clintons and everything.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, like Kanye was like Balenciaga's like spokesperson. But then when you get into Balenciaga, it's like they're trying to separate Kanye from the foul stuff that Balenciaga's doing. But at the end of the day, Kanye had to have known. Like he had to know. He knew. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's kind of they're using him as a puppet for real.
That's what he was saying about when he be saying, talking about his daughter. You don't want his daughter posing for Playboy and shit.
Exactly.
Like that's all the shit that he be talking about.
But I mean,
it's like he
know that she be making.
Yeah, he know about everything. He knew about it before it was even gonna happen. It's happening.
Yeah.
You feel me? I don't know. I feel like a lot of it is a balance of propaganda. Like he said, seeing where our mind is at, and like you said, the MK Ultra thing with just having control over.
Cause he was posting his handlers and shit on Instagram. Like he was posting the people that was in control of his life. So it's like he be snapping in and out of his own consciousness at certain times.
Exactly. He don't have no control, and it's like he at this point he can't have control because he been in it for so long.
Yeah,
so it's
I remember he did an interview. A Drinks Champ interview last year, like one of the first ones he did. Yeah. And he was talking about how like he used the story, for example, when he was saying him, Jay-Z and Virgil, like let's say like he was like it was his homies and they were at his crib with his girlfriend, and she had told them like, oh, we got water in the fridge, and it was like water like on the top shelves, and then after that he was like Virgil and Jay-Z or his homies or whatever were taking the water out the fridge, but they were taking it from like the bottom shelf type shit. And so his girl would come back around and be like, hey, like it's water here, like why y'all not drinking the water? And his homies was like, shh, we know type shit, basically trying to say, and what he basically was saying is like he know him, Virgil and Jay-Z sold out, but they did what they had to do for whatever reasons they chose to do it for, basically. So like, yeah, that's basically what he was just using it as an analogy. So he already know he type fucked up already, because he was saying, I think it was like back in 2019 when he was doing those rants on Twitter, he was saying like everybody already know the Get Out movie is about me. I told Chris I wouldn't let my daughter like do the prostitute and shit like she did to Kim and her other daughters. So he always exposes something, even back in like 2016 when he was going on tour or whatever, and people thought he was about to start singing, and he started exposing Google and all them other sites
until they got him on stage.
But he's always been like that, like the Bill Clinton, the George Bush commercial. George Bush don't care about black people, so he's always been quick to do that. I just think like it's not much he can really do no more. Same with Kyrie, the way all that shit is just like happening at the same time.
They was just on Kyrie ass for no reason. That was out of pocket though.
They was.
I feel like I think it was just because his prior history of him just saying shit.
I feel like they low key trying to like laugh at black people though, cause like the Jews know they run everything, and they know they can do whatever they want, but they trying to make it seem like they can't, even though they know they can. They know that they can get black people to be like, why are y'all talking about the Jews? It's the same kind of oppression, but it's really not.
Right, and then they bring these figureheads and shit like Charles Barkley and Shaq. Niggas everybody love, and then make them say whatever they want.
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
That's why it's propaganda that just goes into a cycle, because the same thing that Kanye West and Kyrie Irving were saying about Jewish people is the same thing that they're getting put through by Jewish people. Like they've been silenced by the people.
Oh yeah, that was my cousin. He just left out.
It's like they're being silenced by the same people that's in control of the media, all because they said that the people that's in control of the media are in control of the media.
Exactly.
So it's just a cycle, really, and I hope people see that part of it more than anything. That feeding into it just leaves you in an endless cycle sometimes. You feel me?
Yeah.
You gotta see through all of it and just look past it sometimes. Like he said, it ain't much Kanye West could do except for keep speaking out till they kill him at this point.
I was at the library like 2 days ago. When I was at the library, I realized that I was looking for like stuff about the Kabbalah and all of that. And I had like, I forgot what aisle I was in, but the aisle I was in, they had like the black information, like the regular African American information to give you about slavery and shit. Yeah. And then right next to it was all the shit about the Holocaust. Yeah. So I'm like, look at this, they dead ass always put us together. They put it together like, in the library. Cause
they called it for like a trauma bond. That's a way that we can relate to like try to get black people to not really speak up and stand up for themselves. Like, yeah, we're not the only ones oppressed.
Yeah.
Like, we're supposed to be oppressed along with the LGBT community as well.
But like even
It's a way different kind of like oppression.
And they
But,
just
like,
threw that shit up in there.
that's why I feel like Kanye wants some shit like how he fuck with Hitler, because all the presidents were slave owners. They was killing niggas. They were doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
Even now, like.
Even now.
Even like Obama.
But you find respect.
Did.
But my thing is,
you do not know nothing.
you find respectable things that these white men did. So when he's saying, I respect Hitler, and I'm what did he say? He said he was a great architect. I mean, he just trying to give credit because.
It's crazy.
Hitler
was a Jew. Hitler was a Jew.
He was a Jew.
A lot of them are like the people that's even in the government now, or who was like doing a lot of shit, who was like fucking with like the Boule members, like the black fraternity people. They were like German Jews, like from like or they had like a lot of Dutch background and shit like that. So it's like, and it's not really a bloodline thing, you know. They were put on that land there. They were granted that land, and they were put there just like they were put over here. Like, cause you know, every native person is our skin complexion. They all already look copper, have melanin. So you know, I don't think. I mean, I think that's why it's going viral right now, though, because like they low key laughing at niggas because they trying to tell niggas like we stole your land, or we stole your title, or we stole your image, and y'all don't know enough to take it back.
Y'all don't know enough. You know? And y'all too busy sympathizing with us. Yeah, that y'all not even gonna know that y'all the victims for it. Like, they're laughing.
And it's like the swastika is already like ancient symbols that niggas were using a long time ago, and they just used it to pervert it for whatever they wanted to use it for. At the end of the day, word. So it's like, man.
Yeah.
How do y'all plan on taking all the information that you guys learned and implementing it to y'all family in the future?
I mean, I know with my family, they think I'm crazy. They be like, oh, here she go again. Like, they get mad. Like, they like, I think they would get mad if I be like, F Obama. Like, fuck Obama. Or like, I'm voting for Trump. Like, it's so crazy. Like,
my family says, I would vote for Trump.
If you say anything positive, it's so crazy. Like, this is going to show you how emotionally tied in they got people. Because the fact that you will really, like, dislike your family member or genuinely be mad at them and hurt because they have different political views than you, and really politics is just a scheme for real. But like, because they have different views than you, that proves the point that we're trying to make. Like, they got y'all totally invested into this, and they're playing the shit out of you.
And it's
like,
crazy because statistically, Obama was like the worst president America ever saw, for real.
Crazy.
And he's the one that made, well, not him, but when he was in office, they made him the one to sign off on propaganda to make it legal for them to post all that bullshit. To post
online. Exactly that one-sided stuff. Fox News, like, they're the top people that be doing that. What do Trump be calling it?
Fake news.
But it's so true.
Trump hilarious.
But the crazy thing is, though, we're taught to look at Trump through the eyes of how they're trying to make it seem. But before that, Trump was the man. Like, everybody fucked with Trump. Like, the top billionaires, top rappers wanted to be like Trump. You know how many times Jay-Z quoted Trump in his songs? But then if you turn around, Jay-Z be kicking it with people who tell us to not fuck with Trump.
Yeah, and they getting a check from it.
Exactly. And they probably sitting over Trump right now.
Right, motherfuckers making songs saying fuck Trump or Trump. They don't know shit.
Like, they don't know. They do anything for money because they know that a lot of times people, they not even in control of their own money. They not in control of it, so they gotta do whatever to get a check.
I mean, you gonna have to do whatever to be famous. Like, I feel like to be that rich and big and famous, you gonna have to sell everything. You gotta sell your soul, bro.
Whether it's, be pimp yourself out to Diddy, or, oh my God, did y'all see Diddy Kids? Yeah. That was so...
What his kids do?
KP rolling her grave right now. His twins just turned 16, but the outfits they had on, disgusting. KP rolling her grave right now. Like, KP it's crazy.
KP is probably one of them too. She was what? Diddy, nigga?
She was, but the thing is, she died.
Yeah, they said
he killed her. They said he killed her.
But the thing is,
what
she was gonna come out with, they already did. Like, what's his name?
They was gonna say,
Like the
but they was
same
gonna say he was
route they
cat.
with the Wayne Wade
Everything.
children.
Yeah,
Because you know Gabrielle Union, she can't like really like have kids. It's something going on with her, something wrong with her.
Yeah.
Like, and in that book, I never read her book, but like whenever
I
I
ain't read
seen
that book.
people really like who was invested into like trying to figure out what's up with her, they said she used to be wild and like she's just a wild motherfucker. And
What
like,
she like doing?
she I don't know. I think she just get like a lot of abortions and just shit like that.
Oh wow.
And it's just like she's just using her agenda on his kids. So like Dwayne Wade's ex-wife or whatever, she got her kids taken away from her, and then they turned the little boy into a girl and everything.
Yeah, you know she trying to sue Dwayne Wade for that, cause like she said she didn't want that shit. She said the baby shouldn't have did that till they was 18.
Because I think.
Oh yeah, the mom.
Yeah.
The mom
they
trying
did
to
that shit before Gabrielle Union actually had that little
yeah,
child.
that's what happened. They
Because
tried to turn.
Oh, the little babe, the little
yeah,
girl.
because she can't really have kids. I
They
think
tried to
Yeah.
make it seem like they turned the boy into a girl because
Yeah.
Gabrielle couldn't have a baby, and
Yeah.
they wanted a girl, and then they
Yeah,
ended
because
up
that was a
having
surrogate
girl.
baby. So now she's trying to actually have her girl.
Dwayne Wade, out of pocket nigga.
It's like a little one.
Yeah, the
But
little
finally,
the little baby girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to live with his baby mom, like growing up. Like I read a book on Dwayne Wade. Like he lived with her and all that.
He was a regular boy.
Yeah.
And they just once he got with Gabrielle Union, he had to turn her out.
Yeah.
Oh, she turned him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they family
Yeah,
took
yeah,
his first baby mom family took him in and all that.
Yeah.
He was homeless. And then he said, "Fuck them, leave him."
Boy, D Wade, man.
I used to be a big Dwayne Wade fan too, man. Before all this, now kind of don't. I don't be feeling Wade, girl.
He can't.
I was always a more AI nigga.
You can't
Yeah,
be a fan of
definitely,
anybody in
yeah.
the industry no more. It's
Yeah.
like, for real. But what's your mindset going into 2023?
Okay, one, I'm gonna try to put these flares down.
Yeah.
This is one. No more
Big thing.
flares.
God, that's another
Oh, I know
big
something
thing.
that when you put that shit down.
Don't even tell me
Glycerin
yet.
in it.
It says glycerin.
No.
That they
Look
put
up
in soap.
glycerin in it.
Bro, that shit, I don't even know what
And
glycerin
it's made.
is. That shit
It's with
ain't
soap.
gonna
It's the stuff that makes soap
And
soapy.
they'll probably start fucking with like your central nervous system and a whole lot of other stupid shit. So just
Yeah,
be
that's why you
careful,
can't put it down.
Yeah, I know people that smoke. I don't know people personally, but I know like people that smoke those over like cigs and stuff. They be the ones that be having like
Shit on there, too,
obscure-ass- Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting these joints down. It's a bad habit.
Just be careful, be mindful.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like I only got addicted to these. Like I went to on a stretch where I just stopped smoking gas. So it's just like I was just feeling
It's
these.
hard to go cold turkey, so you need some help. I feel you, I understand.
Plus, smoking is kind of therapeutic.
Nah,
Like it's the therapeutic part, not even just like what
It's
it's
the
just
breathing
the
behind
breathing.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show how therapeutic breathing in itself, like mindful breathing is. If smoking anything brings you comfort, then if you practice like mindful breathing techniques, that will bring you the same comfort,
Have
like
y'all
the same
eat
effects.
shrooms?
Like
You be eating shrooms? Nah, you don't like it?
you know we do.
My bad. Have you
No.
ever tried it?
One time, yeah.
Okay.
It was hard. It was hard.
It was
Oh, alright, word.
Nah,
Yeah, I was gonna say when we eat what's the name in this room and we like hit the tobacco.
It's refreshing.
Easy.
Like, I feel like it
It's
was
like
refreshing.
But that's crazy. They got us thinking a lot. They got us thinking like everything they tell you is wrong. It's the complete opposite. There's nothing wrong with tobacco.
It's the nicotine.
It's manufactured tobacco and the nicotine, which this is all purely nicotine, which is why this is worse than just smoking tobacco.
The
Like
nicotine is what
grabber,
makes you addicted.
grabber's not bad for you. Like
Yeah.
ain't nothing wrong with it. But like these is manufactured. It's synthetic.
You can't
It's
say
all
that to
fake.
everybody. They start tweaking.
Yeah.
Cause like when you try to like, you could just tell like when you try to smoke weed by itself. Like if you smoke weed out of a bong, you're not gonna want to smoke that much weed.
You not.
It's
It's going to hit you hard.
And I don't even fuck with the bongs. Like I be saying I just want to roll it in the fucking rat and then just smoke it.
But see, backwood's bad too. Backwood's synthetic leaves as well. But it's like you so used to if you so used to using backwoods when you try to smoke paper, it's like this shit ass.
That shit.
Yeah,
That's why you gotta use
yeah,
the paper in fronto.
yeah.
Yeah.
That fronto. Cause just the weed and the paper, man, that shit right there sting your lungs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It
has
don't
a
feel
real
like
bitter
But-
taste.
but like,
16.
I but the filter do be helping me because I used to say that until Like my cousin that just left, he's like a professional weed guy, like dispensaries all the time. He put this little filter tip. It do feel like I'm smoking the back with it. Yeah, it give me like a little kickback on the back on the jaw.
Yeah, it do.
But you guys have any last words that you guys want to let the people know? Anything that you want the people to know about y'all?
Thanks for having me.
Just be mindful of what you watch, what you're taking in, not just, you know, a lot of times people are always focused on their health as far as like diet wise, but your health is holistic as a whole. So what you're watching, what you're listening to, you know, what you're eating, you know, who you're around, just be mindful and wear your crystals. Wear your crystals.
Give them y'all social media platforms if, you know, y'all want to do that.
All right. Follow me on TikTok, y'all. I'm about to start getting this joint jumping. I'm Where the Locks Mellow. Sports betting. If you need anything, any help, contact me.
You said your name is what?
On TikTok, let me make
You
sure.
don't have nothing on there yet.
Nigga, I'm about to put some shit on there.
You be smacking Chandol in them?
Yeah, on my good days, man. I had some good moments.
I'm about to follow you on Instagram. And I'm gonna start sending you the cheat sheets.
But you be fucking with the door? Be fucking with the door?
But I'm waiting until 2023 to put my next one in because I've been seeing the wave right now. Like I actually did like a lot of research. Like, I've been doing a lot of research into it. Like and even dealing with the Kabbalah, I started learning about like gematria and how they link up. You know, with the numbers.
I tried to tell you that before.
Yeah, like cause you know that cause like if one spread is I do peep shit like that. If one spread is like a 4.5 spread and another spread is a 4.5 spread and they're around the same time, one of the motherfuckers not covering.
Yeah. So it's like, and it's like, you know, it's all scripted. It's already scripted.
Yeah, it is.
So, but it's like they are professionals, but they just entertain it. So it's
and
like,
the refs control the game.
Facts. And now since all these sports gadgets or all these sports are endorsing or getting endorsed by FanDuel or whatever they doing, the players are in on it too. So like the other day, like a lot of people like they had recently Anthony Davis been one of the players that's always
everybody want to fuck with him.
Line, right? Yeah. So it's like people start complaining. So
they got hurt.
Have to void tickets and do some shit like that, or like Jonathan Taylor. I put him for like 50 plus yards.
Got hurt
50.
second play.
The first play that he gets injured. And that was the same game when the Vikings came back,
bro. 33.
And you know the number 33 is a big number in Freemasonry and a whole lot of shit. So they telling you right there how it's all controlled. But like a lot of times, if I'm like I don't want to fuck with the player props because the players be on that bullshit. Because I only like to do unders.
You only like because the unders always hit. That's the number one hit in the NFL all year. Unders.
Facts. So sometimes I might do the money line. So let's say if it's like the Celtics versus the Magic, but the Celtics going to Magic, I'll be like, what's the Celtics record on the road, or what's the Magic record at home, and then what's the Celtics versus Magic record all time. And you just use your common sense and your own, you know what I'm saying, intuition and figure out who you feel like they're going to let win. And you just got to watch out for certain numbers, too, because certain numbers are significant. So it might be like the Bulls are 700 and 666 against the Heat.
Yeah, so and then you look at the spread, and then the spread at fucking 3.5 is like, why is it at this?
It's shit like that. And I don't know, you know, I do feel like some of these people be agents who be doing the sports betting shit, like they be in bed with FanDuel and shit, prize picks and all that. So I'm not gonna lie, I do go on Twitter to see what they have to say, because they be telling you truth with lies. So I was telling one of my homies the other day, I'm pretty sure they get picks for like getting endorsed by these gambling apps or whatever.
Yeah.
So what they might do is give them some picks that's going to smack, and then what they do is they set up their Discord accounts. After they set up their Discord accounts and they already got people paying like $30 to $75,
taking everybody,
they throw in the real picks along with some fake picks, and you gotta discern which ones are the real ones and the fake ones. So it's just a tricky game. So I just be that I come across and try to
definitely a tricky game.
But yeah, I'd be fucking with it here and there. But I had told myself I'm gonna wait till next year because I've been seeing a lot of stupid shit going on.
Yeah, a lot of stupid shit.
About to just record a little outro real quick and then we'll be done.
still
Hmm?
He's doing good too.
No, nigga. Oh, no.
Did you want to give your social medias out or not?
Bro, honestly, my social media is like
Just the TikTok.
I'll give up my Twitter. I mean, I should give up my Twitter. I feel like my Twitter is the most. You probably got the most shit on there. So my Twitter is FNMelo, FNMELO _.
I mean, I just got Instagram, but I don't really be on it.
Right.
T9021. If you want to follow me. Oh, I like to post food on. I cook. I haven't been cooking that much, since being a mom, like just having the time to really cook. And when I do, I don't really post it. But 2023, I'm gonna get back to, my little recipes or whatever. I may drop a cookbook. I don't know. But follow me, stay tuned if you want some recipes or just want to look at good food.
Right. I appreciate you guys being part of the show today. You feel me? Wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors and everything with your family and with your living situation. You feel me?
Thanks, bro. Appreciate
it, man. For real.
All right.
All right, buddy.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that was a bad episode. I ain't gonna lie.
It's still free.
You still be chatting to Angel?